Art students, welcome back. Have a seat. Let's get ready for class. I'm trying to adjust my paper so that I can adjust my camera so that the paper is straight. So in the video, it'll be straight. All right, so one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try something different. I noticed a lot of people are wanting to draw the big Hulk type figures, and I've just put one quick drawing up on TikTok. I've been doing a lot of TikTok lately. I've been getting a lot of views on TikTok. You know, it's like the views I'm getting there are the views I should be getting here, but for some reason. So I'm going to concentrate a lot more on TikTok and then hopefully bring some viewers here. So as I said, what I'm going to do, something different. I want to draw a regular character, regular size, and then turn them into a Hulk type character and Hulk type size character. And then show you guys how I do it, how it's done, how I do it, how it's done. All right, so let me do a quick, and he's gonna be a little small guy because I want to draw the same picture above him, hulked out. All right, so I'm gonna do him small. Hopefully I can get him on the paper. So I'm gonna do this and this, and I will show you guys what I did, what I'm doing, what I did in a minute. And I'm trying to draw small or slow because TikTok, you draw fast. Well, you can film it and speed it up, but still I try to draw fast to get it all on there. So right off the bat, his foot is going to go off, but that's okay. That's okay. So let's put this one back. Remember, I draw the circle, and then I put a little bit of a cylinder there, and then I put the foot there, and this foot is further down. Actually, I can bring this up a little bit more to give him a shorter, make the leg shorter by putting that knee right here, and then I can go down. So what that did, it just, what's the word I'm looking for? It just foreshortened that a little bit more, so I can put the knee here and bring it down and give just a little bit of more foot, but you won't really see the foot, so it's there. Anyway, all right, so what I've got here is anytime I bend the character down, I like to keep one piece, the whole thing one piece. Let me draw it real quick. So this is my center line, this is my back. These are my delts, which come down into the chest, which goes back up into the delt. So I like to keep that shape one piece. And then you have your collarbone. Remember, the collarbone is going to be in the center of the delt. And then at this V is where your neck is going to be at, the hole for your head, and of course you put your head there, however. So when you take something, let me look at my Altoids. If you take, should I do this? Might be better shape, almost the same shape. When you take this, okay, this is straight up and down. If this was the torso and you have the top, if you bend it down, like if you bend your character all the way forward, you're just going to see the top, which is just what I just drew there. Now, the only time you're going to see the bottom of it, or the actual chest and the abs, is when he tilts up a little bit. And that's why I draw this paper. I draw it like this. I'll draw this top piece first. Okay, then that's going to be where your head goes. It's going to be your collarbone and where your head goes. However far I want to bring the head down. Then, if he's leaning forward, you'll see some of this. So I'll do this. Same thing there. Then I can put my chest wherever. It depends on how much chest you see, determines how much of this you won't see. This part down here. So of course the chest goes up into the delts. Chest, and it goes up into the delts, which comes back into the back. So here's my neck, here's my collarbone. Collarbone comes up into the center of those delts, remember that? And then you have your traps that come from behind your neck, like that. So the whole point is just how much is this character leaning forward? So if he's standing up straight and he starts leaning forward, leaning forward, leaning forward, you're going to see more of this and less of this. So this is what you have. All right, this is how I do it. Now somebody asked me, and just for the sake of doing it, someone asked me, he said he was studying and he couldn't figure out where the belly button was on the character. And I told him basically where it was, but everybody's different. So here is your torso, right? This is for that guy, that person that asked me, and it could have been a girl. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it could have been a girl. So here is your torso. Here is your obliques or your love handle, okay? So under there usually goes your belt. Your belt usually goes under the love handles, right? So just above that is going to be where your belly button is. So I think it's like the second. Is it inside the abs? I no longer have six-pack abs, so I don't know. But I know it's just directly over your belt. Wherever your love handles end, you start to get your hips, okay? So you get your hips here. I'm just gonna draw the whole underwear package. So this is like this, like that. So wherever that belt is, wherever you put your belt on your character, maybe like an inch, maybe 2 inches up is the belly button. So, but everybody's body's different. So it could be further down, it could be way up. It just, unless you're drawing like nudes or you're fixated on the belly button. That's why a lot of people don't draw it, because it really doesn't make a difference in the long scheme of thing, unless you're drawing like a comic with the alien, and you want to be perfect anatomy and the alien comes out of the belly button or whatever. But yeah, so that's where it goes. So okay, you have them bending over. Now your head, where you place the head determines how much this person is getting into that position. Now, if I put his head up here, and his neck, then that's like nothing. He could be bending over, popping his head up over something to look at whoever's shooting, or he could be down like really low. Maybe his hands are tied behind his back and his head is dropped down. And his nose is like right here, and he's beat down. He's a prisoner, and they're walking him towards whatever. Or he could be looking at you and just gritting his teeth, like, yeah, I'm gonna break these bonds and come at you. So I play around with the head, or where I want the head when I am drawing a leaning over position. So we got the hands, so the arms. So let's put the arms like right here. Let's get this on. So of course the arms are going back-ish, yes. So you're gonna get a little bit of bicep, and I'm going to do the forearms here. Bring them out a little bit more. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna give less bicep. Less bicep. So we have this little bicep, just a little teeny bicep. And then I'm gonna put the arms down like this. Okay, so they're gonna come back behind that bicep. This part, using in red, is gonna come back behind that bicep and then come out. And then you have your fists. And remember, this is going to be flat. This where the thumb is going to come out, because I used to always draw the hand like here was my arm and here was my hand, like this. Just both sides come off like that, but only one side comes off. See, this is flat, and only at your thumb does it come off. So I'm going to do this again. Remember, it's going to start way behind the bicep. Yeah, I got that right, the bicep. And here is my, again. All right, so let me darken this up with this pencil. All right, we have your chest. You have your delts. Here I go. You have the delts, your traps here, the chest. You're gonna have your rib cage showing. Depending, like I said, depending on how much you're bending over, depends on how much the chest is. You're going to have under that, of course, you're gonna have your love handles, and your stomach is gonna be here. And then you have your hips. And we bend at the hips. We bend at the hips. So if I'm drawing somebody like this, let's say this is the person, this is his arm, this is the waist, and this is the hip right there. For the longest time, I was thinking we bent somewhere up here, but we bend right at the bottom, same place, right at the bottom here. So if you're gonna bend down, your love handles here, and then there's your hip. I mean, a lot of people probably say, what? Because when you bend, you have that, your rib cage is here, and then this bends in because of the way your abs are, but you're actually bending right here. And there was a point to that. So yeah, so this thing is gonna be, this pretty much is gonna be straight back, and then you bend at the hips. So as this is going back, your hips are always going to be up, straight up and down. So you always draw the upside down house, leaving room. Okay, so let me just do this guy a little bit more. He really doesn't matter because we're going to Hulk him out anyway. But just to give him a little more detail, because usually you don't see somebody that's just like out of shape turn into a hulking monster. And I'm thinking about doing a video. What was it about? Making money doing comics. I'm still figuring out the logistics of it. All right, so we have this guy right here. Okay, so now we're going to turn him into like the hulking type person. It took 12 minutes to do that because I was explaining. All right, so first thing I do is I take this again, this torso again. I'm looking at it so that I can make it big enough without it going off the page and not really hitting him. It's going to go for him anyway. This is why I'm using red. Since the head is down, I'm going to make him higher. So I'll take this torso once again, okay? I'm going to make this a little wider, a little bigger. You're doing the same thing, but you're just making it a little bigger, a little rounder. It's like a balloon, and you take that same balloon and you put a little more air in it. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do this. Remember, this is like, where did it go? This is like doing this, okay? Except it tapers in. Then, of course, your hips are going to go back here. The legs are going to go off. Okay, but that's my bad. I wanted him really above this guy without kind of cutting through him so much. So the big part is the head, because you can exercise everything and it'll grow except your head, I believe your hands and your feet. Everything else will get bigger. Your knees won't, I believe your knees won't. So if I take this, let's say I take this. Now you see how much bigger his shoulders are compared to this? Because your head, your neck will get massive. You can exercise your neck and your neck can get massive. Your shoulders definitely, but your head will stay the same. So just think about that when you're doing, a guy. So now I've got this wide, your traps, yeah. So then I'm going to actually add these two lumps here, which are the delts. The bigger, the better. It's still going to be one part depending on how much he's leaning. So remember, center of your delts is where your collarbone goes. And it's going to be right there in the center, right under your chin, depending on where your head is. Your traps are going to be like this. And when you're doing the massive guy, you have to kind of know where the muscles go. So your neck can come out. So the neck is going to come out and you're going to have this little V underneath there. Let's see, let's give him more of a ballooned chest. And the chest could actually be even bigger. Your delts come across, they come across and up. Remember that delt goes around the back, so it's gonna come across and up. So basically you're gonna have to like cut out those indentations a lot more in the muscles. So again, you're gonna see the rib cage, or the opening for the rib cage, depending on how much the person is tilting. All right, so your love handle is going to be down here somewhere. You might see them, you might not. I tend to do love handles on a big character. I don't have a little skinny frame on them because you're big, you're massive. You know, big bodybuilders eat a lot, so, you know, they have to gain that mass. So you don't want a skinny frame. So if this is the top of my guy, make his shoulders a little wide. He's got a little head. You know, here's his delts, he's big. And of course, the key is the head. Then I don't have a little teeny frame like this because it's just, you know, it doesn't look right. I give him that massive side. You still taper it in. I give him that massive side to, you know, to go with, you know, stop saying, you know, the legs that's gonna have to hold all his body up. All right, so we have that. We're gonna have the stomach that's gonna come around, and because it is bending, he's bending over. One is going to be in front of the other. So where's my camera? One is going to be in front of the other, so you're not going to see the other one. So you got this set right here. And this other set is going to be closer. And this other set, because you bent over, these two are going to be slumped over, and this last one is going to come at a curve. Where's my paper at? So you're gonna have like your first, this one, and this one is gonna kind of start to straighten out. And then you have the crotch and your leg. You're all right, like that, your buttocks and your leg, like that, the legs come out more. So yeah, so you're gonna have the first two, that's one is one you can see, one is close to the other one, and the other one you're gonna kind of bring it almost flat. So let's do a little better curve for that. Then you want to give him, like I said, you want to give him those love handles. Make them not too big, but not too small. I just lost my love handle. Where is it? It's right here. It's going to come down here. And then, of course, your legs, instead of your regular legs, you're going to put your legs first, but they're going to be massive. So like if I do this here, then I will give him a little more power in that leg. A little more size in that leg. This one's gonna go, he's going back. He's stepping back. So this one's gonna be more forward. So I will even try to increase the size of that leg. So your legs and your arms are gonna be the biggest thing there, especially your arms, but your legs have to hold all this weight up. Now, one other thing is, you don't want, if I'm doing this guy here, if I'm doing his legs, I don't want to give him long legs like the regular person. You're going to make those legs a little shorter, because like if you have that balloon and you blow that balloon up, all that air is going to expand it out and it's going to pull it in. So you want shorter legs on both parts, both your thighs and your calves. Make them shorter. Don't have them, they can be big, but don't have them long like that, because you see that kind of takes away from it by having them long. So, and of course you have to have those muscles in there, and you know, all muscles have like striations, and then you find your inner muscles, depending on what you're focusing on. Are you focusing on the top part and the bottom part is just there, just, you know, to hold them up, or is it going to be like a poster where you have to see the whole thing? So here's my knee. Let's go up a little bit more and bring that out. Is that a quad? I don't know. Some muscles I know, some I don't, not for sure. And then massive calf, making it shorter again. Now see, to me, this is too long, so I'm going to shorten that out wherever my eraser likes to hide. right there. Let's look at it in the monitor. That looks good. And then that knee. That I can shorten it a bit. I am going to shorten it. And I think the thing is, I am not lifting it up. So let's do this. Here's my front circle. Here's my back circle. When you find yourself having trouble, go back to your basic shapes. And then that foot. Still kind of long to me. This should be bigger than this. So I put that knee here. Cut that right there. Something you're gonna have to play with. That's the only part about red pencil. They erase, but they don't really erase as well as your other pencils. That's better. All right, so since this one is going back, it's still gonna be fat, as big as I can get it. And then when I have this calf right here, this going down. Make that calf even bigger. So that knee is going to be going down here. Back to your basic shapes. And then the foot. And I would even say that's a bit long, but I don't want to start erasing in the blue. So I'm going to try to shorten this, just this, and then the foot, which is kind of almost in the same spot. But since I'm going through the blue, I don't want to keep erasing. I don't want to keep erasing it. So we have this, we have this, we have this one. And then when you have those abs, that little two-pack that's down in your area down here. Get the rib. Now, let's do the arms. Let's do the arms, and then maybe give them some lats. So how did I have the arms? Okay, you got that biceps. You're gonna have that massive bicep. So we have this. Let's not forget where this is. Then we have that massive bicep. And then we're gonna have those crazy big forearms. And you wanna keep that wrist big as well. And not have it long. Once again, you don't want really long. So I'm dropping the wrist, right? I'm stopping the wrist like right there. And then again, here's my hand. And then here's the other hand. Now right here, just before I'm gonna make these lats, I'm gonna bring those lats out like that to actually give him that extra size. Let's do this hand again here. For some reason, how do you draw a hand? I don't know. It's just, sometimes you get one day you might be drawing, you drawing so good it's going to cure cancer. Next day you pick up the pencil, you can't draw anything. I don't know why it's like that. It's like a writer's block, and sometimes it's like artist block. I guess maybe they call it that, because it just happens. I mean, your skill is still there. It's just for some reason you just don't know how to do it. I remember one day, and you're gonna laugh, but I forgot how to spell A. I was typing something, and I was like, how do you spell A? Maybe it's old age, I don't know. And it's like, it just didn't seem right just to put the letter A there. It's like something else has to go with that A. And I'm like, how do you spell A? Yeah, don't laugh, but when you might get there one day. You may get there one day. So you right here, you're gonna have this V, and there's that muscle. It goes to the thumb, and then you can put your veins here that cuts and goes to the thumb, and you have this little V because the bicep goes that way, and then there's this dark spot. So what I'm saying is you have to learn the muscles, more detail in the muscles when you do a big guy. Not necessarily, as long as you got the bulk, should I say, to it, then you don't have to use so much muscle. So let me amp this chest up a little bit. "26 minutes, not bad. I'll probably never make a 10-minute video. I don't know how guys can do this stuff. You see videos, I see videos, and these guys go through the whole day in like 20 minutes, and I'm like, how do they do that? They'll go eat and they'll work on whatever, their car, their house or something in 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, that's impossible. So here's those big those big traps right here. And then I'm gonna give the head, and usually when a guy gets like big, massive like that, you want to give him the square jaw. That's how Hulk, instead of the oval like this for your basic head, you want to go kind of the opposite way, give him a square jaw. You want to go out and back in to a degree, not too much, not make him look like Buzz Lightyear, but to a degree you want to go out and then back up. Basically you flipped it over, you kind of flipped it over. So, or you can just do the straight face, but you want to give him the big chin, the big jaw, the jaw line. Not trying to draw the Hulk, but and I'm still rushing because I've been doing TikTok for maybe like a week now and rushing the drawings. So I've got to get that out of my system. Okay, we've got my lats, I got my chest right here that goes up into this. You have your that indentation here. Your chest, now your chest cuts across here and here. And in the center, you want to do your striations to give them that pulling chest. I could probably bring the chest out a little bit more, but I won't. Like I say, here's my lats. And all of this is round, so I want to bring this, and I'm going to do a dark right here. Like the stomach is sucking in at this point because it's going around. Here's my love handle, which I can maybe bring it in more. It doesn't have to go all the way down. That's just how I do when I draw. Give less weight, so that leg is going to come in. Since that leg is in the front, it's going to come in, and the leg is kind of shaped like this. But I would not keep it like that. I would have this leg, this part of the skin come in, and then just kind of chop it somewhere. It doesn't have to be all the way through, especially if you're going to put pants on it. Most times you put pants on your characters. So then you get the big foot, because the foot has to be big to hold up that person. Pull it down on camera. As I said, I would shorten his leg a little bit more. for the sake of the video, I'm gonna kind of leave it there because I could bring it up a little bit more, I could bring it down, but just shorten it and just remember, bring that foot over. Just remember something, I forgot what I was gonna say. Wrapping it all up, the head is the key point to how big that character is, because I could have taken this minus the long legs and then put a small head on him, and he would look kind of massive, but the fact that his legs are regular length for your typical person throws it all off. So they have to be shorter. Your arms and your legs have to be shorter. The more massive it is, the more shorter they have to be. So I don't know, I may ink this off camera and then just give you a good, what's the name? That could be why my views are low, because of my thumbnails. I don't know. But somebody wrote me and they were just like, you know what, thank you so much, thank you so much. I used to draw when I was young, but I couldn't do it, but I saw your videos and then, you know, I realized I can do it. And comments like that are what keeps me going, because YouTube, a lot of times, doesn't pay me because I don't have enough views. So when I realize that somebody out there is really learning, you know, and they are enjoying my videos, that is payment for me to keep going, because, you know, I could have stopped and put full-time comic book or work for somebody, you know, doing their comic book. But, you know, I like to know that I'm teaching you guys. All right, so that's going to be it. Let me define this chest a little bit, a little darker, so that you can define that. Of course, this would be black, this would be darked out, this would be darked out, and a lot of the abs would be darked out. Shadow, should I say, but I'm not going to do the shadow for the abs here. So again, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you learned, and a lot of times I don't say subscribe, but please subscribe, because that's not the first thing on my mind is subscribe. The first thing is teaching you guys. So, but yes, please subscribe if you haven't. If you have a friend that is an artist, please tell that friend to check out my channel and subscribe, and keep coming back. That's all I can say. Just keep coming back for more great tutorials. I'm going to cough now because my throat is dry. And I will see you guys in the next video. Keep drawing. Yeah, keep drawing.